That's my professionalism, sir. That's my way of getting this ball going. Bradley Wright-Phillips. There you go. You're clapping along too. Thank you for joining us on Proper Football, dude. This is a great pleasure. A buddy of ours, Evan, put us together, which makes us even cooler. We've been doing a lot of WhatsApping, a lot of texting, a lot of all that stuff.
Yeah.
But now I got you in front of me, not live, but this is as good as it's going to get for now while you're in warm California. So welcome to Proper Football, part of 1:37 p.m. Thanks for joining us.
Nah, thank you for having me, Paul, man. Nice to meet you too. I'm sorry, I'm not great with texting. I know I've been takes me like 2 hours to reply sometimes, but yeah, man, I couldn't wait to get on here. Evan told me all about you. Shout out to Evan as well. What a guy.
What a guy,
happy
huh?
to be on the show.
Yeah, we're talking about Evan Bush, a teammate in Columbus, and somebody I knew from when he was here in Montreal. A very proud. Evan's just a cool cat. You know, he's got a good family. He's smooth. He's always got his short hair. I like it. I like that stuff. So look, man. Enough about Evan. This is about you. It's what's cool is the idea here on Proper Football, and specifically on this 1:37 p.m. is about culture. It's about chatting. It's not just about that sort of random or sort of that run of the mill show like, hi, I'm a footballer, I've done this,
I hate that.
I've done that, and that was the whole point, right? That was the point, like not to be all of that, but it would also be ridiculous not to say you've played for some big clubs when you were in the UK, Golden Boot, right? 2-time Golden Boot winner in the MLS. You went to Red Bull, I think it was 13. No, in 2013, and then 2018 you reached that 100-goal club, part of like stuff like that is also something to be proud about. So I don't think not mentioning it does a service or disservice. But again, we are living in a world where everybody can see everything online quickly, and so we can get that information.
Yeah.
But in your own words, just a little backstory on who you are, because remember that it's always good to just continue to push the storyline and get to know everybody. Give us a little bit of backstory. What was like growing up across the pond, the UK, then being in America for such a long time. Your family's in America, like you're American, dude. Sorry,
yeah.
You're still rocking that accent, dude. But you're after living in Jersey, man. You're like a Jersey boy now. So
exactly, right. I'm an adopted New Jerseyan for sure.
Jersey, hey,
Jersey. What was I going to say? Yeah, so obviously for the younger people that don't know me, I'm 36 now. Bradley Wright-Phillips. Moved to America in 2013, and I haven't looked back since. It's been an amazing time here for me and my family. Growing up in England, it was, I guess like any English, kid, everything's football, or any English, kid, I'd say, just everything's football. And me and my brother would just go out and play football every day. It wasn't too much, it wasn't too much to talk about. It's just the regular kid, the regular life of a kid.
Yeah, but do you think, and again, I don't want to get into this whole, I don't want to get deep into it, but I mean, you're also coming from a family that has big football history. Do you think you had no choice? And I don't mean that like negative or positive. It's just like you're talking about that because dad's doing it and mom and dad are talking about, like, it's just it's almost like it's in your stars. You know what I mean? Like it's written in the stars. It's just around you all the time. You think that has a big influence on everything?
For sure. Even what you said, it's like, it wasn't a pressure thing to where I had to play football, but in my mind, it almost was. I didn't see myself doing anything else.
You couldn't see yourself doing anything else?
No, nothing else.
Exactly.
Even if teachers used to ask me, they'll be like, so what if you don't make it? And that question used to use me. I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna play football. Like, what don't you understand? Like you don't see risks in it. You don't when you're that age, you don't think you might fail. So it's like your question. You said, did you feel like you had to? Not in a way where my parents were telling me I had to, but like inside, it was all I knew. That's what I was gonna do.
Well, when you look at, because you have kids, I have kids, and again, not to you got kids. What up, Gramps? I'm just saying, you watch them. No, because you watch them growing up, and I'm watching. I'm going to use my son or my daughter, but you're watching them sort of connect, and they like what dad and mom like. just because mom and dad like it, right? Not because they
Yeah,
know any different. And so I'm just
yeah,
wondering if that was the same for you too. That was just actually just one of the questions I've always wondered when I'm talking to people that have others in their family, maybe older, or a parent that, are in the same career path.
yeah.
How that influence touched them. How did that connect? Was it automatic? Was it just innate? That kind of thing. So you've answered it. I mean, that's very
Yeah.
cool.
It's funny as well, quickly. It's like my son, all he wants to do is play football. My
Yeah,
youngest
because of
daughter,
dad.
exactly. And my youngest daughter, my wife used to dance. She just wants to dance. It's not forced on them. It's almost like you said, it's just what they know. It's what they look at as growing up, I guess. You know?
Yeah. Did you so then another question is, and even though you answered it again, but this was cool when you were in the UK, could you ever see yourself doing something else other than playing football?
Nah,
No.
it's impossible.
Well, what? Yeah,
It's,
but you're not going to be able to play football forever. So what's you want to always be in football, or do you have this is
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Like I'm not
yeah,
everybody, especially professional athletes. I mean, there's a
yeah,
clock. I mean, there's no way around that. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I'm just curious. Like, have you thought about that? Like, what are what direction I might be heading within the football sphere? Because you're probably, like you said,
Yeah.
it's in your blood. You got to be around it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question for sure, when I'm done, I want to be in the game in some capacity. I don't think I want to coach. I don't know if coaching's for me. But I definitely want to be in and around the game. Um, but you're right. It's like only the last 2 years I've been thinking, man, what do I do after? And it goes back to, the sporty stuff. That was just I had one plan. It's a plan A, and there was nothing else. So
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's been a bit different, over the last couple of years, thinking what I want to do and what would suit me, what could I thrive in. So yeah, I'm on that path now. And I'm just waiting to see what sticks out to me, what I think I can be good in, what I think I can help younger players in.
yeah. And so that's it. So you've already identified a little bit about you would like to sort of work with the younger generation and maybe impart some of the stuff you've learned as they're coming up.
Yeah.
If that's something that you like, that sounds to me like coaching, brother.
Nah, but there's other ways, I could identify. It could be scouting. It could be, you
True.
know,
Yeah,
sports director. It could be
and a
something
scout
along
does
those
a
lines.
lot of
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, yeah, right. And the same thing with sporting director. I
yeah,
mean, you have your hands in so many pieces of
yeah.
sort of that club's ecosystem, right? It's not just
Exactly, exactly.
that's amazing, man. That's amazing. Listen, I have a question for you if I'm allowed to ask, and you can also say fuck
Ask
off, dude, you're
anything.
not
No,
answering. Okay, okay, so listen, I have to
ask
ask this.
anything.
You played youth England, okay?
Yeah,
Now I'm a Canadian boy. I'm born in Canada. I have English roots. So I actually can cheer for two teams being in the melting pot. In North America, there's so many.
yeah,
We're all such big mixes. You can actually cheer for several countries when you're watching a
yeah,
Euro or World Cup. So you played for England youth. Then you could have played for Jamaica, right? Because
yeah,
of Jamaican heritage. Why
yes.
why didn't you play for Jamaica?
I'll tell
Do
you.
you get this?
So
No, do you get this question all the time? Is that why?
I don't get it all the time, but I've had it a few times. But
Okay.
honestly, yeah, obviously as a youngster, your dream is to play for England. I wanted to play for
Yeah.
England. Then it got too late. Then after a while, I just didn't think about international football. I was on a place where I needed to get back to playing good football. I needed to start performing. So then I wasn't even thinking about it. And then I'd say 2000, maybe 17 or 18, even maybe before, there's been little talks. I started speaking to Jamaica, and it almost happened. I just think, I don't think we could sort out the papers in time for the qualifiers. And then
Hmm.
after that, I just forgot about it. I just was like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to be traveling all around the world. I was like 33 then, maybe.
Yeah, and that's
And it
a
was just
high
like,
point in your MLS career as well, right? Because that's at the
exactly,
point there you're in the 100 goals. You've
exactly.
already you've had the golden boots. You're like there's this right. You're a different level within the league
Yeah.
as well.
I'm
So
an,
you're
and
starting to
I'm
get
and I'm also sorry to cut you. I'm also in
no.
the tail end of my career, and I wanted to give all of that to Red Bull. I didn't want to have to go away during, some kind of tournament. We got big games play, it's just, I just wanted to give most of my time to Red Bull at that time.
So that mentality of putting club before country, that isn't typical, right? That isn't typical. I think that more often than not, especially, well, maybe, I guess, look, 2020, 21, 22 is a very different time than, obviously the world's changed so dramatically. But I'm just curious about, because so as your career, and this is, I'm sure this imparts in a lot of other athletes within that same spectrum of their career, when it's at a certain point they're young, full of juice, running, nothing can stop them. You can do it all. And then at one point you realize, wait a second, I have this much energy I can expend in a match, in a week, in a month.
Exactly.
I have to, my business sort of is dealing with the club, right? I mean, it's a transaction. You guys have a contract, you have to fulfill your contract. And then national stuff is more for the heart and for pride. And I know there's a little bit of money in there, but you know what I'm talking about. At that point, you're doing national for the love.
Exactly. Yeah. Sure.
So that's it. So that's
But
makes a lot of sense.
It does. And I got a great example for you. If you look at Jamie Vardy done the same with England. Jamie Vardy could be in that England squad. He could have been travel. He could do all of that, but he said, no, I'm not going to be going just to travel or just to be playing friendly games in the big games. I don't know if this is him quote for quote, like word for word, sorry. But he's not just traveling all over the world. He's saving all of that for Leicester. And people ask every week, when you see Jamie Vardy scoring, they say, how's he still running like this? How is he still this dangerous? He's 30 odd. It's because he's saved his legs. That's what I think. I think if Jamie
he's
Vardy
conserved his energy, he's decided to where he's going to expend that energy.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I mean, you might not be word for word, but we're actually sure that that's actually what Vardy said. I have to put my time into my obligations to the club that, makes his life. He's also a guy that came in later and doesn't take it for granted, right? Like you also see different mental sort of attitudes and actions on players based on football pedigree, based on when they came into professional life, all these other things, as you know, for those reasons. I mean, it's like, right? He didn't grow up in the seeing it the same way as some others might, and so that makes it change. I have a question for you also. If you so MLS time, most of your playing career, most of your playing, it's not true, but you know what I'm talking about. So a good chunk of your football time is being in America, New York, and then LA, Columbus. Out of this is sort of a tricky one because we're not looking for anybody to say anything stupid or get it. Is there an environment that you really enjoyed and wish you would have taken more time to enjoy it? Like, obviously the length of your careers in Jersey is with the Red Bulls. So, but when you look, do you ever take a minute and go like, oh my God, like all this stuff, do you wish you could have had a few more minutes to go back and enjoy it and ingest it? Because sometimes it's just like, I'm just, I got family, I got work, I got to work out, I got to eat right, I got to put the dollars, I got to work on sponsorship. You know what the list is. The list is just forget it. So
no, honestly, Paul, I have a good 3 of those situations. First of all, that happened to me when I first broke into the first team at Man City and my brother was playing. I took that for granted. So like even to this day, I regret it. But we got a little chance to play again at Red Bull, so I could really appreciate that then. But I done that with Man City when I was young. I thought it would just last forever. This is life, this is every day. I wasn't appreciating it, and it just went by like that. Gone. It was gone. And then but we got another chance to play Red Bull. But I will say that Red Bull, obviously, I enjoyed my time. It was a long enough time for me to appreciate. I was older then, I had it, like you said, I had a long time there. But Columbus last season, the locker room was amazing. Like one of the best you could ever. Like I've played in a lot of teams, but this locker room was amazing. And that year just flew by like that. And it, sometimes I've been looking back the last few weeks, and I'm just like, damn, man, we had something there, And due to our performances, I don't think that changing room will stay together. But every person in that locker room was amazing.
It's so funny. That's one of those situations. I'm watching you talk. By the way, you have a third. You said.
So maybe Columbus. I was throwing Red Bull in there. Nah, it's not 3. It's really Man City and Columbus there.
I'm watching you respond about the Columbus locker room, and I'm actually watching you think about it while you're speaking. I can see it in your eyes. That's amazing.
It was unbelievable. It was,
And you guys, it looked like a fun club. Like what I mean by a fun club, excuse me, but it looked like the club was having fun from the socials. Anytime I
yeah,
got to talk with Evan, like it looked like a club that was definitely enjoying football together. I think that's.
yeah.
Do you, being in the league as long as you've been, is it changing dramatically? Is the caliber improving year by season by season? Are the let's start with that. Okay, start one. Caliber. How's the caliber? Are you watching it? Let's say from 2013. Obviously, it gets better every. It's like
Yeah,
humans get
anything.
taller every year.
Yeah,
But
yeah, everything.
can you really say, like, without a doubt, this fucking league is 100% accelerating year after year after year, and at one point the quality will sort of break down the sort of there's still a bit of an international stigma.
Yeah,
We know yearly that's getting knocked down, but it's still going to
yeah.
take some time because it's a young league, right?
Well, let's have it right. Let's have it right. The MLS is disrespected. A lot of that are things they can do better. A lot of that are things the players can do better. Um, I think officiating will help that. I think the refs are, I don't care. Fuck it. The refs are not good enough. I'm sorry. But that's just how I feel. I think that will change a lot of, I think that will change a lot of people's views. Commentary. I'm starting off the picture. I think commentary can be a bit better. I think that always brings in people. If you enjoy listening to someone or watching someone and they're exciting, I think you tend to take that game serious. You tend to enjoy it more. But okay, caliber. This is where it's tricky for me to where I think the MLS has definitely improved every year since I've been here. But it's not with the individual players. I think the coaches have got better. So I think when I first got here, there was stars on every team. You got obviously Thierry at Red Bull. You had Tim Cahill there too. On another team, you got Obafemi Martins. There's just ballers. There's like big players. I'm forgetting a lot of players, but there's players that have done a lot. But the teams weren't that good. So you might face somebody with amazing talent, but the teams weren't that good. But now, when you're playing a team, most teams in the league, sorry, apart from Cincinnati, they're gonna hate that. But most teams in the league, they have an identity, they have a way of playing, and they're very good at it.
Yeah.
So it's tough to go down to Orlando playing that heat, play against their style of football, just something like that. So I think coaches and team systems and everything has got better. But the caliber of player, not necessarily. I think they're putting in more work to go and find a young DP from South America or a young DP from wherever, and just young players everywhere to improve like teams and improve the league. Also, the younger American players, Canadian players, they're coming through academies now. There's a USL, so it's a lot more structured teams, and it's harder to win games. But I think back when I first joined, there was some very, very talented players, like Robbie Keane, and it was ridiculous the talent they had.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
no, and
but,
again, then that brings me to, is the fan maturing, or do the fans of the clubs, the people that are watching the league, are they understanding it more and more and more? Is there a nice amalgamation of sort of what it means to watch football, proper football, and what it means as a North American sports fan? Because our mentality in North America, right, there's a lot of sports, there's a lot of big sports, the way we sort of ingest it, eat it up, wear the gear, the whole 9 yards. Is there becoming this really interesting sort of mixture where they get it, they understand how to ingest the MLS, they understand how to complain about it, criticize it, love it? Because that's important, right? Like, what people don't realize is I can criticize. Yeah, really important. And people fucking forget that. Like, my criticism is not, oh, I'm not gonna, because I don't give a fuck. That's not it. Excuse my language. It's, I want the best in front of me because I'm proud of supporting it. Right? Do or die. If that's your club, and if that's your thing, you should be able to criticize what you love, and then you fix. And then you guys, it's like a relationship. You argue, and then you fix it, and then you move on. Right. So is the fan understanding it more and more and more, and they're getting it? Like, when you speak to fans, are they like, are they in? Are they like, have they bought in? You know what I'm talking about? Like, is it their thing, or is it just like, it's just one of the,
I think that's like a few things. I think that depends on the club you're playing for. I think LAFC fans were They were very good. They were bought in. They turned up in numbers all the time. It wasn't just, yeah, it wasn't just I'm putting on this color and I'm going down. I'm taking
Yeah,
my kids. It was more than that. I think Columbus as well was the same. I think Columbus they're getting it, especially with the new stadium. Um, I think it's a mixture, like you said, but you still, I can only go off some comments. I'm not speaking to fans every day, but you
yeah.
still see things like it'll just be like a regular miss from a forward, and then people are oh MLS. But I've seen people miss that in the Champions League. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
people miss that in the Champions League or in the World Cup, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
still those kind of people that are like, you know what I mean? They don't really understand it. It's just, you know, they go
Yeah.
on just to be mean, just to
But
say
that's
negative stuff.
armchair coaching, and those are the same
Yeah,
people that are still carrying that MLS torch like this is a place where players at the end of their careers come to play. That
yeah, yeah,
that's that old mentality. Those will be weeded
exactly.
out. That eventually
Yeah,
will be weeded out, right?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
that's just a
Hopefully,
negative human anyways, and so who gives a fuck?
yeah.
Like,
But
right?
hopefully, no. But honestly, if we say who gives a fuck, but it's just, it's like you said. It's like this is the sport I love. This is what I want to watch. I want to watch the best quality of it. But the people that are just here, just talking rubbish and getting things wrong and putting it out where people can see it. You know, even
Yeah,
some commentary, it's like you're saying some things and it's just like so not true. But you're tricking a bunch of people now. Just
yeah.
just shut your mouth.
Because you don't
Just
know
shut
what
your
you're
mouth.
talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Better to say nothing than say stupidities and
Exactly.
fuck shit, and it's you can't come back from it. And what
Yeah.
ends up happening is that's what's floating around out there. So they've heard these comments, they've watched it, they've misinterpreted everything, and that's what they
Yeah.
leave with. They don't maybe come back to see the product again because
No.
they've seen and heard
Yeah.
enough. Oh, like, that's not for me. You
Yeah.
know, it's like how people make a
Yeah.
judgment. It takes one thing, and that's the judgment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
you're
sure.
totally right. That's such a very your point about commentating and commentary and all of that and is such a big one. It's so crazy that I know myself as well included. I never think about it, but then when I hear bad sort of commentating and sort of the long conversation while we're watching something, I'm like, God damn, this is bad. And
Yeah.
you then realize how important. I'm not saying that for MLS. I'm just saying in general,
In
when you hear
general, yeah.
bad comment, when something's bad, it's bad, man. Oof, you're totally
Exactly.
right. Um, so here's the thing: the idea of this, Mr. Bradley, is to get to chit chat and to do this and just to hang.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we also want to keep it short and sweet because we're in a social media world where nobody has any
Yeah.
attention. I'm sure people have already tuned.
Yeah.
They've already tuned our
Goldfish.
shit out. They tuned our shit out like 2 minutes ago. Yeah, 2 minutes in. But what I would like to do is two things. One, I'd like to open the door to have us talk again sometime in the next year, if that's cool. And I'd like
I'm
to
with it.
talk to you about some gaming. I'd love to know a little bit more about. You know what? Let me ask you a quick, and then we're going to do the 12 questions, and then we're wrapping it up because people got shit
Cool.
to do.
No
I
problem.
don't want gaming. You mentioned
Yeah.
you're into the. Are you addicted to FIFA? Or, and here's a question, because
I'm gonna
I'm
surprise you.
again, you're gonna say I don't know, you're not even into that. You're into shooter games and shit for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a killer. Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, uh,
Like fuck
but
FIFA.
fuck yeah. Is that big?
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is my question to that is that because you play football and you don't want to play
Exactly.
it? Okay,
No.
but other ballers love it because it's an opportunity to like just fuck with each other
Okay.
in other
So
cities.
so my reason is quickly is that FIFA doesn't do the things I want it to do. So there's no movement. I know people say, "Oh, you can do your settings like that." If my guy's running with the ball, if I'm running, I need a dude to make a run here or someone to create. They're just like all running next. It's stupid, and you just run around doing skills, and it's stupid. It's not football to me. It isn't football. I prefer to play Call of Duty. Was
EA Sports, you've heard it here. Bradley Wright-Phillips has a lot to say. You need to talk to this man. You need to
your
get
game
him
is
on
rubbish.
board. The game is rubbish. He's got stuff to tell you. Okay, cool. Well, listen, that's fair. That's totally fair. Okay, so here's the next thing. 12 questions. I'm gonna rattle off some questions. Whatever your
Okay,
answer is your answer. There's no wrong. Okay? All right.
I'm nervous.
Bradley Wright-Phillips, proper football 1:37 p.m. This is 12 questions. Are you ready to go?
I am ready.
Question 1. What is your favorite type of art?
Music.
What is your favorite song or band?
It's hard. My favorite genre of music is grime music, underground English.
Amazing. Favorite footy or sports team?
Arsenal.
Favorite. Now, here's a question. You played for City.
I thought this was rapid fire.
No, it's supposed to be rapid fire, but I never got to ask you this question. But I figure you're a cool cat.
All right.
Your dad must have gone berserk. You playing for City?
Nah.
Was that like a problem? Nah, because he just wanted you to play professional.
1 and 2. Back then, City were not Man City now. It's not like any kind of.
I know. But it's still. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it wasn't a rival.
It's not like
fair. I apologize to all for fucking up to 12 questions with a question in a question. Favorite athlete, dead or alive?
Zinedine Zidane.
Favorite breakfast item?
Eggs. Scrambled.
Yeah, for sure, man. Favorite drink, alcoholic and non-alcoholic?
Okay, so Hennessy, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, tropical juice.
What would
V8,
be the
V8 blend?
V8? All right, that's fair. That's fair. What would be the first thing you buy if you won the lottery?
I don't know. I'm all right. I got a decent amount of stuff, you know. I just put it in the bank for my kids.
That's so an investment for the kids. Dream trip.
That's a tough one. Can it be like fictional?
Yeah, sure.
Where's that place that avatars live? That's where I want to go.
Like in the movie Avatar, like with
the
blue dudes. I don't know the name, but okay, I'm down.
Because I've already been to like nice countries. Pangea. What a place. Yeah.
Pangea. Martino, I love you. Thank you. What are your thoughts on, do you know what an NFT is? On a non-fungible token on the digital? Yeah, what's your thought on that? Are you in? You down?
I'm dumb to it. Someone explain it to me and it sounds very interesting. I want to do some research, a little bit more research, but yeah, I'm dumb to it. I don't really have a clue right now.
The 1:37 p.m. crew, they got you. I'm telling you, man, like they got a lot of stuff to say about that. Pajamas or no pajamas?
No pajamas, just boxers.
What is your favorite fashion brand at the moment?
Puma. I gotta say that.
Well played, sir. What if you have? Is that Puma?
Yeah.
Is that very smart? Look at you. Well played. What do you have if you have as a superstition?
Oh, I have a lot. This won't be random. This won't be quick fire. I got a lot.
Give me one. Just give me one.
I'm like left shoe on first.
Like all the time or football?
All the time.
Like all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. You want to tell me why?
It came from football, and then it's just but now I'm trying to get myself away from it because I think it's like almost a weakness also as well.
No,
so I'm trying to get away from it. No, it is.
It's not a weakness. No, I don't agree. It's all love, dude. I'm joking. College soccer or football?
College soccer. I don't like American football.
Okay. No, sorry. Should we call? Should Americans in North America call it football or football?
Football for sure.
Okay. Dude, Brad, this was such a pleasure. I can't thank you enough for joining us today on Proper Football, part of the 1:37 p.m. family. Again, you've opened the door, so we're going to talk again in the new year sometime.
Let's do it again.
Honestly, man, I also appreciate the honesty and the candor and the openness. And again, I hope you enjoyed it because the idea here was not to do the random garbage. It's to open shit up and talk about stuff, you know?
Well, listen, I'll tell you this before I go. I talk on it all day. I like this. I don't really care for interviews too much, but things like this I can do. You're allowed to swear. I can speak my mind. So keep it up. It's good. And let's speak again soon.
You got it, man. Thanks again. Be safe, brother.